Hey everybody, it's Ed Connerkey back with Connerkey's Money Corner. Hey, in this video I want to talk to you about a question that I got from one of my friends that said, hey, my son just graduated from college. He's in his first job. Everything's going great. He's maxing out his 401k. Now he's looking to prepay his student loans. And should he pay off those student loans as fast as possible? And I said, well, that's great. Glad to hear that he's maxing out his 401k, but let's talk about that a little deeper. Is he maxing out the 401k to what the company matches, or is he maxing out the 401k to what the IRS allows? Well, as we come to find out, he's maxing it out to what the company matches, which is fantastic that he's not leaving free money on the table. 34% of Americans don't max out their 401k to what the company is matching, and they're leaving free money on the table. So that's wonderful. But then, why isn't he going all the way up to what the IRS allows him to put away in that 401k? In 2017, the IRS will allow an individual to put up to $18,000 in their 401k. Next year in 2018, that number jumps to $18,500. So the question is, do I put money in above and beyond the company match, or do I take those monies and do I pay off the student loan debt? So the first question is, what is the student loan debt? How much is that costing us? Typically, I see those interest rates around 6% on average, which is not that bad of an interest rate. Theirs is, they said, was about 4.5%. So I said, without even thinking, because I'm coming at this from a completely financial perspective, not an emotional one, not looking at debt and getting worried about it, I said, well then why would we take extra money and pay off a 4.5% debt and miss out on putting money into a 401k and investing that at his young age into stock funds, which over the last 90 years, stocks have averaged 9.7%. if you look at the S&P 500. So think about this, gang. Our brains mess with us, and they cause us to make wrong financial decisions because our brain is an emotionally wired thing that makes us think emotionally and answer financial questions emotionally. So what I always tell clients is you need to answer questions when it comes to financing and money, not with your heart, not with your head, but with a calculator. So let's think about this, and let's take the emotion, let's strip the emotions out of this decision. He's got a 4.5% debt that he wants to pay off and get rid of because he doesn't want that student loan debt there anymore hanging over his head, because he understands what he sees in the media about get rid of debt, it's bad, all these people with all these student loans. So all this pressure to get rid of this 4.5% interest rate. But the problem is if he takes the extra money that he's not putting in above and beyond in the 401k and goes and pays off the 4.5%, he misses out on those investments growing at 7, 8, 9, 10% historical returns looking at the S&P 500. So do you focus on saving 4.5%? Or do you focus on making 7, 8, 9, 10%? And I'm going to add even another caveat to this. Every time you don't put $1 into your 401k, you lose 30% of that money instantaneously. So when he goes to choose not putting that dollar into the 401k, right, you lose a quarter to the federal government in income taxes, and a nickel to the state of Illinois in income taxes. So guess what? Your dollar is now only 70 cents. You've just lost 30% of investing power. You've lost 30% more money putting in tax-free and compounding tax-free for his retirement 30 or 40 years down the road. So you have 30 less invested. Now you take the 70 cents and you go pay off a debt that's only costing you 4.5%. So gang, as you can understand here, the right thing to do financially is not always the right thing to do emotionally. That student loan debt's going to be hanging over our head. That's not a problem because, again, that's only costing us 4.5%, where we could put the dollar into your 401k above and beyond the company match, where it becomes a true dollar invested because it's not being taxed, having that money compound over long periods of time at numbers of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%. Again, 9.7 is the average for the last 91 years, the annual average return on the S&P 500 for the last 91 years. Past performance is no indication of future results, but I'm just telling you the average of what it's been for the last 91 years. So take the money and put it into your 401k where it becomes $1, compounding at a much greater pace. You're making more money than what you would have saved by taking the dollar out, getting it taxed, and paying off the student loan debt. Oh, and by the way, your mortgage is the same thing. If you're taking extra money and paying off your mortgage and you're not prepaying your 401k, you're making an emotional decision, not a financial one. Any questions on this, let me know. It's important to understand these things, that we've got to make sure that we're understanding how to handle our money financially, not emotionally. Hope you enjoyed this Conor Keys Corner. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to help you.